Farrowing ark, farrowing paddock, bed management, really important. Major things here about dealing with piglet mortality and how to get that to as small as you can possibly get it. The process starts at weaning. The first thing to do is, when you've weaned and the babies have gone and the mums have gone, is to move the huts onto fresh ground. After you've moved the huts onto fresh ground, clear up the old beds. Now, two ways of doing that. You can either scrape them up, take them away in a trailer and put them on the muck heap, or you could burn them. But the most important thing is that they've got to disappear. You don't want any of the old part of the last litter still in that pen. We've got the arks on fresh ground now. Then we've got to bed them up. Think about bedding them up. Good practice is to start with some wheat straw. Be generous with the wheat straw. Now, the reason for wheat straw is it doesn't absorb water as much as barley straw. So if you start the beds off in the bottom with some wheat straw, the sows will get that bed. They're in there for a week before they have their babies. They've got plenty of time to get it all level. You don't need to level it out. You don't need to shake it out. They'll do all that for you. All you've got to do is to put plenty of straw in the ark and leave her to make that bed. Now, just before she's starting to farrow, you want to be going in there, checking all those beds, make sure they're nice and even, make sure there's plenty of straw in there, particularly in the winter. Across the front of the farrowing ark, you've got a step. Make sure before she farrows that you put some straw outside that step, so that if she farrows in the night, any babies that get outside the ark can climb back into the ark to get with mum. Put the fender by the door at an angle. A newborn piglet will always go with the wind behind it. So if you can set that fender so that if he does come out the ark, he gets caught within that fender, that'll protect him a little bit from the wind. Then when you come in the morning to check over your farrowing ark, the ones that are farrowing, you can pick up any babies and put them back inside. If you've got a lot of very large older sows, it is good practice to have a selection of some bigger arks, because if you've got some very big sows in an ordinary sized ark, your pre-weaning mortality will be higher, just purely physically, because there's just less room inside the ark for her to turn around. She's struggling to stand up, that way and if she's struggling to stand up, she might be sitting down or rolling down, and that'll increase the risk of her laying on the babies.